Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are sitting down and having a little chatty chat about some controversial topics that have been going on recently in the beauty space, and I just wanted to sit down and give you my overall thoughts. So if you're interested in seeing what I have to say, then please keep watching this video. So first things first, yes, I am makeupless, asking my beautiful natural face. And yeah, I come out a lot on my channel recently without any makeup because if I'm being completely honest, you guys, it is very difficult for me to sit down and do my makeup just to film a video and stay home all day. It really is just not in me to be that kind of person. So I am not that person and I won't do that. So I'd rather just like come on here with no makeup, natural makeup. When I am wearing makeup, usually I have like leftover makeup from the morning time just because I threw something on to look half decent. So yeah, that's where we are. And makeup tutorials, I realized, do not perform as well. And they're a lot of work. So I'm like, look, if you guys want a makeup tutorial, I'll do it. Just ask me for it. But it's very difficult to film, very difficult to edit, and they don't perform very well. So I'm like, look, I'd rather just sit down and chat and throw a video out there for you guys to not miss 1 week, than like sit here and do like a whole intricate makeup look that is really not going to perform very well. So yeah, that's just the audio. However, I want to give my perspective as someone in the beauty industry as far as a lot of drama that's been going on recently, particularly with Jaclyn Hill. And I recently commented on the Michaela Lashgate issue, and I kind of enjoyed just giving my like little opinion here and there, and you guys seem to like it as well. So as someone who's in the beauty industry, I feel like I wanted to sit down and talk a little bit more about my opinion on this whole Jaclyn situation that's been going on recently. So if you're not aware, I'll give you a brief, backstory. Jaclyn Hill is a beauty influencer she started off on YouTube, but she's kind of drifted off into that off from that, and now she has several brands. She has Jaclyn Hill Cosmetics, she has Jaclyn Roxanne, her jewelry line, and she also has a line of like blankets and stuff that used to be called Cozy, but now it's not called Cozy anymore, and I'm not really sure what it's called right now, so I'm just throwing that out there. I have no idea. I don't really keep up with the brand, and I will get into that in a little bit as to why I don't keep up with that at all. And I also want to start off by saying that what I'm going to be saying in this video is my opinion only. It's not based on any facts. It's not based on any detailed information. I've only been like updated on stuff that I've seen on YouTube videos and tea spill channels and drama channels, which I'll be honest, is a guilty pleasure of mine. I really enjoy drama channels from time to time just to kind of like keep me updated on drama that's going on in my industry. And like, I always think it's very important to keep updated on certain topics in my industry and like keep up on trends in my industry, because that kind of benefits me in my own professional business. So yes, I'll admit I watch drama channels, okay? But all of these things that I'm going to be saying today is my own personal opinion based on things that I've seen and in my own opinions that I've formed. So by no means at all am I saying this because I have like legal backing or anything like that. It's really not any of that. It's just my own personal opinion as someone who has been in the beauty industry for a while. So yes, all this, take it with a grain of salt. All of this is alleged. Please don't sue me. Thank you. So I want to go back by starting off and talking about like my relationship with Jaclyn. I'll say I don't really have a relationship with her. She has no idea who I am, but I do know who she is because I've been watching her for a very long time. And I will say that I first started watching her. When I first started watching Jaclyn on YouTube, she was not as big as she is now. She was way smaller. She looks completely different than she does now. She looked way different back then, and that's neither here nor there. But she was very small at the time when I started following her. Maybe not, I didn't start following her like right at the beginning of her channel, but she was kind of like a couple thousand subscribers in. So she was starting to get a lot of traction when I found her. So I will say I have watched her for a very long time. And as someone who was learning makeup at the young, ripe age of 16, I looked up to her a lot when she first started. She was very intuitive. She worked in the makeup industry. She worked for MAC. She was very good. I will say I learned a lot from Jaclyn at the beginning. Now, fast forward to about, I would say like 3 years, maybe 3 to 5 years from now, I started to drift off from watching her content. And it's mainly because I felt like she was just not relatable to me anymore. Not only that, because to be honest, like there's a lot of people that are not relatable to me, but because I live mainly a more humble lifestyle than them. But mainly it's because I felt like whenever she would come on to the space, it was to sell something, and she was trying to like do so in a way that was very deceptive. And so for that reason, I started limiting the amount of content of hers that I would watch. And for a long time, I didn't watch any of her videos. For a long time, I had her kind of like muted on my Instagram, and I didn't watch her for a while. And I didn't keep up with any of her posts. At the moment, if you go onto my Instagram, you will see that I'm not even following her anymore, which I'll touch on a little bit later. Just because I felt like I couldn't trust her opinion anymore. You know, it had already happened to me several times that I personally, you know, tried out certain things that she would mention to me, and I wouldn't have the same experience as she did. And as I started learning more and becoming more into my profession, I realized that just following her advice was not going to benefit me at all, because she was only mentioning it for money or for cash grab or for, you know, paid sponsorship, or maybe it was just that, you know, maybe she did really like that product, but she, you know, spends a lot of money taking care of her own face, of her own skin, and injections and Botox and filler and this and that. And it was just not, like, we were not compatible anymore, I guess you could say. So I would say that around 3 to 5 years ago, I stopped really I fell out of that kind of thing with her that I had before. Like, I'm coming onto this approach with like someone that used to really appreciate her videos. Like, I got my sister into watching her videos. If you guys will go back and remember, she did a video where she was responding to Snapchat stories, and like I sent her a Snapchat story and she mentioned me in her video. So I was really a person that at a certain point was very much involved and influenced by things that she was saying. And so I am coming from that point of view as someone who started off really liking her, and then something changed to whereas I stopped liking her content. I can't think of a specific time where I kind of like something happened and I didn't like what she said. I just remember that for a while, like everything she was talking about to me just didn't make sense. Like, she would say like, oh my god, I love this product, I've only used it a few times. So I'm kind of like, okay, so how are you saying that you love this product when you've only used it a few times? Like, it doesn't really make sense to me that you could love something only having used it a few times. Like, you have not done a thorough testing of that product. So sort of like things like that just didn't make sense to me, that seemed like she was just mentioning a thing just to mention it and wasn't really thinking about what she was saying or the repercussions that it might have on people watching her. So for that reason, I started like drifting off from watching her content. And then when she launched Jaclyn Cosmetics, which was the first of her businesses, I never really was interested in her brand. the whole lipstick gate happened, which I feel like her response to the entire thing was really bad. Everything was really bad. So all of that like kind of started to leave like a bitter taste in my mouth for her as a person and as a brand owner. All of that happened and I just was kind of like, I'm not really liking this. I'm saying all of this just to explain to you in a timeline like how I started to drift away from her, my own personal relationship with her. So yeah, that's kind of like how that started. And so her brand, Jaclyn Cosmetics, never really called to my attention and never appealed to me. I don't think I own any Jaclyn products. The Morphe palettes just lackluster for me. I don't think I own any Jaclyn Cosmetics, do I? I don't think I do, just because, if I'm being completely honest, I am not in the mood to waste money. I'm gonna waste my hard-earned money on products that I know are gonna benefit my kid exponentially. And none of her products seem to do that for me. So I don't think I've ever purchased any of her items. I have purchased and I have been gifted items from her Jaclyn Roxanne brand, which is her jewelry brand, came after her makeup line. And I really do love the Jaclyn Roxanne jewelry. I think that that's something that you can tell she puts a lot of effort into and they look very nice. And so that brings me to the current drama that's going on with Jaclyn and Jaclyn Roxanne. So like I said, I kind of felt like Jaclyn for some time has been very shady, very, not giving you like the full story. She kind of like throws details out there and then she's not really giving you anything. She's kind of being a little bit deceptive when she says things. And I mean that not like in the way of that she's intentionally lying to you, but she's not giving you the full story for a reason. So yes, lying to you. That brings me to her current drama with Jaclyn Roxanne. If you're not updated on that, she has been called out for copying another brand, and because of she recently came out with a new launch of jewelry line that she's come out with, and it's very similar to another influencer's brand and another influencer's line of jewelry. Now, I do really like that Jaclyn's jewelry is more affordable, nice jewelry. Obviously, it's not gold, it's not like any of that high quality items. But I think that for the price, they're very nice quality. So, and I like that she's on the more affordable side, definitely. This other brand that she's allegedly copying is a little bit more of a prestige brand and charges more expensive prices, but they probably have better quality items and materials. In my personal opinion, I do think that it's really looks really bad. The fact that she has been known to copy certain things from people and has been known to claim that she's, all of this came out of her own mind. In reality, people find receipts and find that she's actually copying someone. So I do think that it looks very bad on her brand and herself, since she's been under a lot of scrutiny for being deceptive. The fact that she would come out with a jewelry item that looks similar to another brand, that especially because she has been shown to promote that other brand way before any of her brands came out. So that just looks really bad, if you're being completely honest. Maybe you can say oh, I was not even aware that this brand existed and we just so happened to come out with a dupe, less expensive item that looks similar to theirs. But she can't say that because she's promoted that brand before in previous years and she currently follows that brand and the brand's owner. So I think that looks really bad, really bad. And not even really that it looks really bad for her brand, but also the way she comes about it is just bad for her brand altogether. Because if she were to just come out with that kind of information from the beginning, she would get less heat for what she's doing. But since she didn't do any of that, she just came out and said like, no, I'm not copying anybody. How dare you accuse me of copying anyone? That kind of like defensive thing that she always tends to do just like makes it 10 times worse, which is very similar to what she did when the lipstick gate happened. And people are like, well, I have all this proof and you're denying it and you're not giving us straight answers. So I feel like that's something that kind of like adds on to the idea that people have of her being deceptive, and definitely influences me a lot. So I'm not even gonna go into everything that's gone on with Cozy, because like that's a whole other video for another day, to be honest. So I'm good. I don't want to get into that. But as far as the makeup and the current drama, that's my opinion. And to be honest, just harping a little bit more on influencers, like this past year, I've kind of like changed my way of approaching influencers to the point where I actually like rid my Instagram account of all influencers because I found myself being very influenced, but the influence was affecting me negatively. So I actually like unfollowed Jaclyn several weeks ago, maybe at the beginning of this year, and I also didn't just unfollow her, I unfollowed a lot of other influencers. And I think all of them actually. I think that I'm only still following people in my industry just so I can be supportive of them and see what they're using and get like tips and tricks from them. But I actually unfollowed a lot of influencers because their influence was affecting me negatively. I was constantly wanting to buy new things, wasting money on items that were not benefiting me at all. I was also feeling badly because my house or my outfits or my clothes or my home decor items or my kitchen items were not up to par with what influencers were saying. So I was essentially bringing myself down with that kind of thought. Like it was affecting me and my feelings, and like I was getting anxiety, and I was constantly in this kind of like thing of like a rat race of like trying to find the nicest thing and like work hard so that way I can afford this nice item for myself, and like work hard so that way I can get this nice home decor item, and should I spend more money on this and should I spend more money on that. So for that reason, I kind of like rid myself of all influencers because it was negatively influencing me. If you don't experience that by following influencers, that's great for you. But me personally, I feel so much better now that I don't have like any influencers, or like I don't follow any of those people anymore, because I feel more fulfilled with what I have. Like having to constantly see on Instagram and social media these influencers' homes that are beautiful and like all the stuff that they buy, and they constantly spend so much money on Amazon and this and that, and I was like feeling bad about myself because I couldn't do any of that stuff. I feel more at peace now that I'm not following a lot of influencers because I'm not constantly comparing myself to what they have. That was one thing that I did, especially now that we're talking about Jaclyn. I especially unfollowed Jaclyn because I felt like she was one of those people that was negatively affecting me. You know, she's very wealthy, she has a beautiful house, she has beautiful clothes, she has beautiful hair, she has beautiful makeup, and she's, you know, just like one of those people that was affecting me. So I took her off my Instagram completely. Not to mention that at a certain point, Jaclyn also was only posting on YouTube to like sell you something. So like whenever she had a brand launch of some new makeup or some new jewelry and this and that, that was the only reason she was coming onto the YouTube space, which is where she first started. And I felt like that was very just like, aside from deceptive, it's just like very appalling to see that kind of behavior. Like this is an audience that trusted you and got you to where you are right now, and you're only coming on to sell us stuff. And she tried to be deceptive in different ways. Like for example, those Amazon recommendation videos that she does from time to time, and she's like, okay, so I'm not gonna sell you anything, and she like paints this whole picture of like that she's not coming on to sell you anything. She's just talking about Amazon. And in reality, what she doesn't tell you is that when you click the link of the items, she's gonna get paid for it. And she doesn't disclose that kind of stuff, and it kind of just like makes you realize that she's only doing it for money and there's no genuine intention in what she's doing anymore. That's my thoughts. Remember that these are only my opinions based on just some thoughts that I have formed myself. And remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to see more of me. And if you guys want my opinion on any other topics, please let me know in the comments down below and I will share them with you. And I'll also see you guys in my next video. Bye now.